Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, and welcome to this Let's Play of Solasta. Last episode, we took care of a bit of party management, sold a bunch of stuff, made a few new items. Specifically, we made a new mace for Garan here. Still a +1 Morning Star, but it also does a little extra bludgeoning damage, which will be nice. And gave a very nice Ring of the Ambassador to Lasani here and crafted it for her. So that is nice. Now, time for us to move on to the next location we need to head to. White Rock City. Valkaropapun. Something like that. Alright, there we go.
Clear sky, sir. Are you Gorm the Wise?
Ah, yes. The heroes of the Rift. My eldest daughter had quite a few things to say about your stubbornness.
Stubbornness?
You're Hertha Gormstort's father?
Ah.
Indeed. She represented the antiquarians in the Legacy Council.
Before she left.
Only to supervise our war effort, since the Alliance was drawn into the fray. Anyway, Lady Kaikonen told me what you're after. Demons. And yet you come from Master Gucci's laboratory.
We learned a lot about Exonica the Traveler.
The Manakalan Master, yes. That's her specialty, not mine.
Tell me of... How about you tell me first about White Rock City?
Any advice on navigating the White City?
You should just know that it's a time of unrest. Refugees from the north are flooding the gates.
What's happening?
I have no idea. They're fleeing something.
Alright. Tell me about the Pact of the Claw.
What can you tell us about the Pact of the Claw?
Since Lady Kaikonen told me about it, I reopened a number of books. This pact was sealed even before the Cataclysm. No wonder it has faded in our memories. I'm just starting to rediscover it. I need more time.
Very well. In what you've studied so far, do you know anything about the Speaker?
What is the Speaker in the Pact of the Claw?
It seems to be an honorary title.
Nothing about being a guardian of something?
The original term for speaker is an old-fashioned Dwarven. It can be interpreted in various ways. Keeper, father, leader. Although, despite the claws being transmitted through the years, no speaker has been chosen for hundreds of years. It would require the 5 clan chiefs to join here and take a vote.
You've been a great help. We believe that the Pact, Exonica, the demons, are all linked.
And you worry about the pact not having its speaker?
You said the 5 clan chiefs need to choose one.
Yes, and it will require the heroes of the Rift to reunite these 5 individuals. They're all stuck in their own clan's problems. I haven't seen them here in years.
Maybe, but if we're right, without a speaker, their problems will become much worse. Where can we find them?
I suggest you try to meet their representatives in this very city. Then you'll see how hard your task will be.
Can we count on you to continue reading your books?
Of course. I'll send for you as soon as I find out more.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to say something. I had a thought recently.
We have a new letter from Beric Sunblaze.
I'll check that in a minute.
We should write him back. Give some information about what we discovered.
I would if I knew how. But I had a thought. What I think happened is Exonica discovered the realm of the demons and unfortunately opened up a portal that could not be closed. This Pact of the Claw and the Speaker is meant to keep that door closed and keep the demons from getting in to our world. The Sorax, also from another world, are probably trying to contact the demons or ally with the demons in order to together storm into Solasta and take it over. Or else have Sortar go back to where he originally was, escaping from Solasta, and let the demons take over Solasta. It's probably something like that. Now let's see here. Letter from Marshal Barrack Sunblaze. Dear friends, I received word from Commander Miles at High Rock Outpost. He tells me you unraveled a Sorak network that linked a scavenger quartermaster named Hector to an infiltrator among his men. That means that despite their massive attack against Herr Kiflin, the Sora Cats still have sleeping agents all over the Eastern Kingdoms. Keep up the good work. Every operation that we reveal is another blow to their evil plans. Einar guide you. I wish I knew how to write back, but I don't. Either way, we have more books that we can look at here. Let's see. Okay, Scroll of Fear, Healing Remedy, Manual, The Snow Alliance, A History, and Gnomes. And then over here we have Conjure Animals, Stinking Cloud, Crafting Manual, A Guide to White Rock City, and Tieflings, Demon Spawn, or Misunderstood. Okay, so red already. Okay. The Snow Alliance, A History. In those early days of its foundation, our brave dwarvish houses each took responsibility for the defense of an entry point of the early settlements in the valleys and mines of White Rock. We called these alliances Vartmerkint, which translates loosely from the Old Dwarvish as Guardians of the Entries, each group competing to outdo all the others in feats of engineering and martial prowess. As our lands expanded, other new clans in Vartmerkint were formed as was necessary and practical. The history of the Snow Alliance is a many-splendored tale of victory through millennia of hardships and adversity, forged in centuries of struggle and wars against the elements, the monstrous inhabitants of the region, the predations of the Manichaean Empire, the chaotic and catastrophic opening of the Rift, the equally traumatic Cataclysm, the War of Sorrow, and later wars. The earliest Vartmerkint recorded were among the indigenous snow dwarves in and around Valkarokapun, White Rock City. Soon, these Vartmerkint, or Guardians by Dwarvish tradition, were named after the points of the compass, namely, the eastern, Itainen, the western, Lantinen, the northern, Podrolin, and the southern Guardians, Etelin Vartmerkint. Then there were the Deep Dwarves, who guarded the mines and tunnels below the mountains, who became known as the Central Guardians, Keskainen Vartmerkint, and so were formed the leading clans we know to this day. But no band is impervious to change. Over time, this group of clans became the Snow Alliance, but as the ravages of the wars with Manichaean, the Cataclysm, and the War of Sorrows took their toll, we were left with no choice but to seek help from those that lived around us in the mountains, forests, and valleys. First were the Sylvan Elves who had fled the first formation and expansion of the Manichaean Empire, settling in the western forests. Their cunning and bravery, uncomplaining, won them our trust and first entry to the Alliance. And then, after the near destruction of the first Lantinen in the Cataclysm, we passed that banner to them. Next came the fall of the first Itainen, utterly destroyed in the War of Sorrows. The Snow Alliance was on its knees, but the humans that had come through the rift never once shirked their duty, always guarding, always fighting, always working to help anyone in need. Using all of their alien knowledge and skills to help the Alliance keep the Alliance safe from any threat, becoming the second Itainen. And so the Snow Alliance now stands proud, all 200 clans, with 5 preeminent. The Itainen, Lantinen, Podrolin, Etelin, and Keskainen. These 5 are now known as the Pact of the Claw. Why the name? Someone seems to have torn out a large number of pages here. Interesting. So, the Lantinen, over in the west, were taken over by the elves, and the Itainen are human. Interesting. Gnomes. There is much mystery to the origins of gnomes. Which stories are to be believed is a question oft debated since they first emerged above ground after the Cataclysm. Are they a native species to Solasta, or did they come through the Rift? Did they exist on Ferendrag at the dawn of Solasta's history? Are they a magically created species, or their own unique people? Who truly knows? The gnomes themselves are always evasive on the subject when pressed too hard by outsiders. Among many common tales, gnomes have been heard to tell others. The most common include, We dug our way here from a world underneath Solasta and caused the rift, so we hid to avoid taking the blame. We created a time travel machine which exploded, and we lost all our memories and language. The dwarves and halflings taught us to read and write again. And millennia ago, deep under Ferendrog, strange beings ate strange mushrooms. Out of this quite unique diet came the gnomes. Whatever the truth may be, we do know that gnomes are not as tall as halflings, nor as tall or as broad as dwarves. Their quite unique tongue appears to have many words with roots in ancient Dwarven, and uses Dwarven runes when written. They are well suited to living underground, being able to see well in poor light. They are often reclusive, smart, and have an amazing talent for tinkering, a knack for cunning and humor, and a flexible approach to honor and morality. Okay. Tieflings, misunderstood, or demon spawn. Demon spawn are misunderstood. After much research, it is now known that tieflings are not, as has previously been rumored, from the Western Kingdoms or from another continent. After much effort and at great expense, we finally managed to get a group of tieflings to agree to be interviewed. How much of what they said is true is up for debate. Until we can unearth more evidence, the following is as good as we can get. The first tieflings were from Tirmar, and they entered Solasta through the rift. They were enemies of the Sorakath even before they entered Solasta. Their legends speak of an infernal curse on the people's family and descendants of a priest of Pakri named Akon. Akon's bargain with a devil prince had been made in order to save their kingdom and to also be immune to the control of Sorax, but that bargain came at a terrible price, an infernal taint, a curse that produced the tieflings. The bargain failed to save their kingdom, forcing them to flee through the rift. In the centuries since the Cataclysm and the closing of the rift, the tieflings have had to live in hard-to-reach places, hiding in the darkest dens beneath cities, and in wild, out-of-the-way places. Always outsiders, treated with great suspicion by native Solastans and humans alike. Some say that lack of faith is deserved, and that no creature that has an infernal taint can be fully trusted. We shall let the leader decide the truth of that. And a guide to White Rock City. The roots of our mountains run deep, but none deeper or as wide as blessed Valkarokapun, known in the common tongue as White Rock City. Although our ancient metropolis has a history lost in time, we know that the Manakalan elves have yet to defeat the dragon menace when we mined the first of the finest marbles, granites, and fabulous quartz of rarest quality from the mountain's veins. When the Manakalan Empire first attacked us, the clan Kaikonen were already constructing fortifications. Valkarokapun was by then a large city fueled by the discovery of veins of almost pure gold, silver, and flawless precious gems, positioned on a strategic pass linking the southern lands with the endless Great White to the north. The city not only expanded down through the mountain, using marvels of our dwarf engineering that include complex elevators, ventilation, and heating, but also out to the north and south, with substantial fortified areas and concentric rings. Since then, the Kaikonen, now known in the common tongue as the Kaikoinen, now known in the common tongue as the Kaikonen, have built ever larger, more complex fortifications and many technological marvels within. This impeccable dwarvish foresight has allowed us snow dwarves and our allies in the Snow Alliance to protect our ever-growing wealth from outsiders as we mine the fabulous mountain depths. Okay, so Vigdis, Western, Northern, Eastern, and Central clans. Oh, bestiary. We can add something here, I suppose. Incubus. I didn't even realize that. Hejru. More information there. Sorakath Harasser. 82 health. I'm not a fan of that. Didn't we get a bit more of another Sorakath? I guess not. There's the regular Vrock. And a bunch of unknown creatures. Okay. We should look at these clans now. Just to get the information. So, we are brotherhood with the southern clans. The southern guardians, Etelin Vartmerkint in the Dwarvish, are the clans with the closest relations with the Principality of Masgarth. They are often represented in organizations such as the Antiquarians and the Legacy Council. They're mostly Dwarven. The Western Guardians, Lantanen Vartmerkint in Dwarvish, predate the Snow Alliance, dating from when the Sylvan Elves fled the Manakalan Empire and took refuge in Dwarven lands. The Lantanen clans often bore the worst impacts of the Cataclysm and the War of Sorrows, and their unwavering bravery led to these elven clans becoming the first non-Dwarven guardians of the Alliance. Since that time, they have been steadfast supporters of the Alliance, and are considered equals by the other Guardians. Although largely elvish, the Lantanen clans are not exclusively so. The eastern clans, or Etainen Vartmerkint in Dwarvish, defend the eastern flanks of the Dwarven territory. During the time of the Cataclysm, many humans settled in the region, offering their own unique skills and services, as well as gods to their new neighbors. After the War of Sorrows, the human clans took the role of the Etainen Vartmerkint. The Northern Guardians, Poljolen Vartmerkint in Dwarvish, form a loosely organized yet close-knit gathering of villages, shelters, and outposts in the far north of the Snow Alliance, also known as the Great White. Despite the large distances between settlements, they all faithfully bow to the white banner of Poljolen. They are most often dwarven, although some gnomes have been known to make themselves at home in the Great White. And the Central Guardians, Keskainen Vartmerkint in Dwarvish, are often considered by many to be insular and somewhat hostile when compared to other clans of the Snow Alliance, seldom suffering from their underground cities, except as part of a merchant caravan. Surfacing, not suffering. Being renowned smiths and wealthy merchants, they prefer to spend their time gathering the mountain's many treasures, forging crude ore, fine metal, and precious stones into skillfully crafted items of beauty and practicality. Okay. And with that... Oh, okay. We have a few places we can go to here. Well, may as well start exploring. Oh, right. Open the door, please. Okay, we got some loot here. Coins, coins, coins. Badlands bear meat. We can take this. Take that and that. Okay. So that's a way around the bottom that goes into somewhere. There's a central area here. Does this door open? It does. I suppose we can take a look at this central area. Central Palace. We have primed longsword and primed shield. Okay, we're not going to go into the Central Palace yet. I will go and open up these doors. This seems to lead to a dead end. Dead end with some mines. Okay, fair enough. Coins, coins. Take that. Take that, and that can be sold. Coins, coins. That can be sold. Take that, and take that. A catapult. The Western Battlement. Coins, coins, coins. Take that, take that. You take those, you take that. Ooh. It's in a very nice view. So if I use this again, does that let me see it again? White Rock City. With all that white, dark rock and gray stone, why white? The massive ancient dwarf-built walls of this indomitable tower support huge siege defenses, designed to rain death down upon any foe. No wonder Valkarokopen has never fallen to an enemy attack. I think I read this one. Yeah, I did. Okay. The banner of the Snow Alliance. The 5-pointed snowflake symbolizes the 5 clans of the Pact of the Claw, and the Alliance's strength and unity. The gray evokes the beauty of the mountains. The Etelin Vartmerkint's banner, often seen carried by dwarven members of the Antiquarians or Legacy Council. The dire wolf symbolizes the cunning, tenacity, and loyalty of the southern clans. The white banner of the Poljolen Vartmerkint represents the savage beauty of the vast Great White, while the Remoraz symbolizes the undying fire that burns in the hearts of all Northern Guardians. Like the Redeemer on their banner, the Kaskain and Vartnerkind work together to dig deep into the darkest tunnels and will rarely visit the surface except to defend the Snow Alliance in times of need. The banner of the Eastern Guardians, like the Snow Bullet emblem, symbolizes the Atain and Vartnerkind's unswerving determination to defend the Snow Alliance, with the blood of its people, if necessary. And this is the banner of the Leiten and Vartnerkind, otherwise known as the Western Guardians. Like the Tiger Drake, they are known for swift vengeance and the determined defense of their forests. Okay. This is the Polar Bear Inn. The Polar Bear Inn. The rumor is that the first landlord killed a giant polar bear that was feeding on local travelers, frightening away his business. The skin was used as a rug for a while. Oh, interesting. Coins. Badlands Dryad Bark, that's new. Focus, and that. And this heads down to a location. Does this lead out? Yes, that's the way out. So we're not going to take that right now. But I will take a look in the inn. Kurgal Hammerfell. Okay. What do we have over here? A Chronicle of Events in Masgarth. And the Ulaila? Something like that. So let's see these two books. A Chronicle of Events in Masgarth. Blood and Stone! When first I heard this tale from Masgarth, I was much disposed to be doubtful of the events that I record here. But now, having discussed them with those antiquarians present in Caer Kiflin, I must admit to sharing no small sense of wonder. And why, you may ask? It appears we have now roaming Ferendrag, mighty folk who show the insight, cunning, and dogged determination one would normally expect of folk from the Snow Alliance. 4 brave adventurers, first deputized to the Legacy Council, and now heroes of Masgarth. As we all know, Princess Kaywad Silverflower hasn't seemed most focused when discussing matters of import, despite her good intentions. So it was with much surprise that her hiring of 4 deputies brought the most astounding destruction of a devious plot to infiltrate and overthrow the Principality. A plot by the Sora Kath, a force of legendary evil that, it turns out, was real. It turns out these Sorakath were lurking in the ruins and wastes of the Badlands, and had begun to spread east, hiding in shadows, plotting to defile and destroy all that is good in the world. I have no doubt that there are nefarious folk among the New Empire and Galavan that are to blame. We know how much they covet the lands of Masgarth. Filthy southerners. But I digress. Allow me to continue my tale. This volume continues to tell a sometimes wildly inaccurate tale of the heroes of Solasta. Wildly inaccurate. Alright, and the Eulalia. The Eulalia, more commonly known as the Song Speaker of White Rock City, was first built in the 3rd century after the Cataclysm by the legendary dwarven smith Story Brighthearth and his friend, the elven bard Viralia Liralan. The Eulalia was intended not only to create a visually appealing focal point for the city, but also as an instrument that could be used as a means of weather prediction, emergency alarms, citywide communication, and occasional entertainment for the city's citizens. When correctly played by trained operators, the Eulalia has multiple uses and can create a variety of warning siren notes to alert the city and its defenders to imminent dangers to the city. It can also call out prearranged signals that can be heard throughout the city and its caverns, and thus coordinates the city in times of emergency. On feast days and special occasions, the Eulalia can also be played by skilled bards to create beautiful and rousing music that entertains the city. When not used as an instrument in this way, the air ducts that feed to it from the outside naturally respond audibly to changes in airflow and air pressure, and thus create a harmonic and accurate barometer of the prevailing weather conditions outside the city, as well as an alert for changes of air quality in the deep mines and caverns below. That sounds useful. Kurgle Hammerfell. May as well speak to you. You're the last person we have to talk to.
Welcome to my humble inn, heroes of the Rift.
You don't have to shout.
I want everyone to hear. You know, marketing.
So, is there any news?
What news, innkeeper?
You can see, the beggars in the streets are making my clients stay at home.
They're fleeing death. They could need some solidarity.
I have kids to feed too.
Alright, well, thank you very
We were
much.
just about to go.
Come back soon.
Alright. Well, that's what's here in the White City. Not really anything else here until we go up to the Central Palace. Because we're not exiting yet. So, I am going to go ahead and end this episode here. This was very much a lore episode, it seems. Next episode, we'll go into the Central Palace and see if we can meet with the representatives and get someone out here. Till then, I am Chester44, also known as Falai. That is Anna, Garan, Lasani, and Aaron. This has been a Let's Play of Solasta, and I shall see you all next time.